Not really, Phil. Everyone thinks everything is significant in life, don't they? But most things aren't, and most things are. This is what we have to understand. We're talking about death today. Not a topic for everyone. Scroll if you don't like it, but we're all going there, so I might as well get a bit of a clue what's going on, really, I think. Okay, how you going out there in La La Land? Pretty good, I hope. Pretty good here too. I'm trying to just build the energy, Phil. Come on. Got to move it, groove it. Okay. It's not so easy when you have a difficult topic. So for us, it's not a difficult topic because we just want you to live well. That's really what we want. So when we're showing you these two chakras today, they are people who have lived very, very well. And sometimes we have some hesitation in the earth life about living well and what that means. And we stay on the same tracks all the time. But we would suggest that you maybe take the road less traveled a little bit and do the one that you love. Or if you like where you are, stay where you are. But most of us want to grow and expand. For these two chakras that I'll show you, they are of two young women who were physically their body was breaking down, but their spirit was very, very bright. So sometimes it's the opposite way around. We can have a spirit that's unwell and the body feels okay, but eventually they will sort of switch. But sometimes we do have souls that come in that perhaps are not meant to be here for as long, or they have a different calling in the spirit world, and they will be called back home to what they are doing. So this one in particular that I'll show you has a situation where that's happened, where she came to earth and she had a very big life and she wanted to finish her business quickly. So I'll have a look. So this one here, I can show you the two differences. So for us, this person, this was back in 2014, so 10 years ago. So for this one, the chakras, when you looked at them, they're very beautiful and they're very balanced. So when we think, what else is there to do? So for this one, it was always about lightening up. So she did not want to leave. She had a beautiful saying, always leave everything better than you found it. So for this one, she actually traveled the world quite a lot, looking for healing energies and working on her sharing of her spiritual gifts. So for her, everywhere she went, whether she met a taxi driver or an innkeeper or a housemaid, she always made sure that that person received some love. It was a beautiful way to live, and I can tell you everyone who was in her company felt different, felt better. So for her, she was seeding love wherever she went, because possibly at a soul level, she knew she was not here for a long time. But I'll show you what the chakras look like for this person as they start to leave. So you can see they're still grounded, but the chakras are becoming lighter, and you can see the crown chakra really coming around. That happens with quite a few of you. I'll show you a picture of what somebody has drawn of the crown chakra. This is a picture that's drawn very early in the 1900s from somebody who was able to see the chakras. Isn't that beautiful? The crown chakra looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Hand drawn. Lovely. So for this one, you can see it was full of love. So there was lots of heart, lots of giving out there. The crown chakra was coming up to touch the relationships. So for her in this life, it was important to have relationships that were touched by something higher. So always leave betterment. So for her, that's what she did. As she got towards achieving the end of her life, and of course we did not know she was actually ill at this time, but this is what the chakras were doing. We were just looking at them. You can see they're becoming lighter and they're lifting. Everything is going up here. So the earth chakra here is becoming lighter and up. The relationships are changing, but the heart is still out in the world. So she's communicating with higher energies, moving up to the 8th, 9th, 10th chakras down here, but higher chakras. So it was very interesting to learn. So I really wanted to let you know that when you're working in spirit, all is not what it seems, as in on the earth life. So sometimes you come in and you would think, oh, I have the biggest problems in the whole world, which I guess we could relate in earth life. It's like, well, passing away is the end game, but for us it's the beginning game. But for you guys, sometimes it's the end game, is it not? But when you come in, you think, oh, this isn't working or that isn't working. We love that because we want to get you on track. When we get on track, we get those chakras lined up, and then you can zip through life and then really enjoy it. That's what these ladies did, and that's why their energies were so pure and so profound. So in their bodies, because it was their time to leave, they were able to make this so shiny. So when they left, very beautiful. But when you come into me and you're seeing your energies, you think, oh, this isn't going or that isn't going. Often we'll see the chakras all over the place. And that is good, because we want to get this crisis point, because that's the opportunity, really, isn't it? It's the opportunity for growth, it's the opportunity for soul growth, and it's the opportunity for deep listening. So when these two ladies came in and we were looking at their chakras, the opposite was happening. So they were living totally in the moment. They had no real crises in their life, but their spirit was coming together to prepare them to leave. So not everything is as it appears, is it, in life? Of the earth when you start to do it. But it's not difficult when you're young, because you still have healthy bones, you still have the desire to live, you still have things to do, Phil. So it's not so easy when spirit is calling you. So the struggle is still real in the body. You know, it's not that you go, oh, it's my time, I'll leave now. It's not really how it happens. You still have to be earthed in the body. You still have relationships that you're looking after, don't you? All of those things. It's just that when the crown chakra comes down like this, as you can see, it starts to call you home. It starts to call your earth chakra home. And it's saying, okay. And so for that, it feels like your world gets smaller, because you're dealing with the day-to-day. But that day-to-day actually becomes quite magical. So what we like you to do really is pay attention to the day-to-day, to find that magic first. Because when you find that magic, then that magic will expand and you'll realize that you're all one. There's really no separation. And that's what happens when you come a little bit, when the soul is ready to go and the soul is pure. So you can see in these chakras, they're very lined up. And because you both knew these women, you knew what they were going through. In fact, one of them has written on her chart, I think cancer is a blessing. You know, so that is I remember when Michelle was sitting with this lady, she went, whoa, okay, that's really amazing that she can see that. But if I remember that reading correctly, all they did was laugh for the whole hour. Really, that's what they did. They laughed and they cried with happiness, and they hugged, and they came home and they had a beautiful time. So, so that is really the magic of life. It's really not to get too caught up in the, what you call the machinations of everything. You do that when you're concentrating on your life and you have a plan, but everything else is really there for you to enjoy, no matter what it is. And so for these two girls, they had great humor. And so that is really helpful. So something for you to develop, isn't it? Second chakra. In fact, if you look at their second chakras, they're really, they're still pronounced in the reading. So you can see that everything is light, but the second chakra is quite strong. The crown chakra is quite strong. The earth chakra is becoming a little bit light. So if you have a humor, particularly as you get older, things change, don't they? It's life is much easier. Always to have good humor. Okay, so today I thought we would talk about this set of chakras and this beautiful crown chakra that's surrounding all the chakras. So that's quite unusual. The crown chakra usually sits above the head, and it's what connects us to something bigger than ourselves. It's where our beliefs kind of are anchored in that kind of psychological program. And this one, it's just so different. So this person was a young person in their 30s, and when she came to me, she was very, very unwell. She'd been diagnosed with cancer. And so I was very, it's always a bit nerve-wracking to do somebody's chakras when they're unwell, because you never know what you're going to see. And usually, or what I thought I would see, were chakras that were all over the place, like straight lines through them, energy not flowing, all elongated shapes, which is what we usually see when people come in on a day-to-day basis. But this young lady was actually not that far away from dying, and she came in, and I was really incredibly touched how beautiful the spirit moved through her. And so she was somebody who actually said to me in this reading, she said, this cancer has been such a blessing in my life. So all the chakras were still spinning beautifully, so she was still really connected to her family. She was had this beautiful solar plexus and relationships with others. She was an incredible storyteller. Her heart was centered in the middle of her body. But what you could really see, and she had a great vision of her life, she was very clear what she wanted. Of course, at the same time, she was actually physically unwell with all the things that go when people are passing away, the body is breaking down, but her spirit was so strong. And that was one of the most beautiful lessons I've learnt, or teachings that I've learnt from when people come in, to remind us that we are not our body, we are so much more than our body. And so sometimes you do see chakras like this on people that are very healthy and well and not about to pass. But this one was just so interesting because that crown chakra was coming all the way down, and it just reminded me that no matter what we're going through in life, we always have a connection to something bigger than ourselves. And for this person who was so bright and so present in the moment, her body, and so it felt so comforting that she left with this really bright auric field